Welcome to Real Physics. My book Einstein's Nightmare just got published. It's in German, but I think my English followers might be interested, so I tell you a little bit about the content. And it's about America and Europe. Don't be offended, okay? If you follow my channel and if you look at modern physics, you realize that modern physics has a problem. These multidimensional fantasies of string theory are also nonsensical particles of supersymmetry on the one hand side, and on the other hand these huge accelerators which are built without a real sense. So we are in the midst of a crisis, and many people are saying this. I, however, was interested, how it all came about. Physics is something fantastic. It's the basis of our civilization. How could such a degeneration of physics occur? And it has to do with the differences in European and American thinking, so to speak. I'm talking about a culture of scientific procedure here. And modern science originated in Europe. There is nothing to discuss about. You have these Copernicus and Kepler and the physicists in Italy and France and Great Britain who discovered all these fundamental laws of nature until Einstein. So these were independent thinkers, geniuses, often could permit themselves just to think about the elementary questions of nature. And then on the other hand, look at the people who went to America at the end of the 19th century, the beginning of the 20th century. Often they were not rich, but very smart, very energetic, very dynamic, very courageous, okay? And they were cooperative, and they were able to build a lot of things for which Europe was too bureaucratic, too old-fashioned. Yeah, maybe the best example is the Wright brothers. Yeah, the European theoretician proved that it was impossible that a body could stay in air, and they just built it. Okay, so America managed to do a lot of projects, big projects, and Europe was unable to do. But on the other hand, this very deep thinking about the laws of nature, this pondering over elementary questions, it's not what Americans particularly like to do. And, Dirac in England, he spent almost his second half of his life pondering about the mass ratio of the proton of the electron. Einstein tried to unify gravity and electromagnetism. Nobody in America was interested. They superficially admired him at Princeton, but nobody was really following him. Heisenberg, interestingly, in his autobiography, mentions about the problems of quantum mechanics. He says he talked to an American physicist in 1929. Look, we are desperate. There is one experiment in which an electron behaves as a particle, and the other experiment in which it behaves as a wave. We don't know how to understand this, how to put up with this. The response: what's the problem? Okay. So there were a lot of unsolved riddles in physics in the 1930s. And then what happened in Germany, the center of scientific research and physics? We expelled practically all the intelligence and started a world war. How stupid do you have to be to do this? Okay? And at the end of this war, the world power was decided by who had the atomic bomb. And this was the most important project, so to speak, of physics, and that changed a lot physics. Imagine, 15 years earlier, people were just gathering in a friendly way, international, everything is open, research, atomic physics. And then 15 years later, almost the entire elite working in secret laboratories to keep this atomic bomb going. And this changed physics a lot, the culture with which science was done. So at the end of the World War, I mean, physicists more or less, they didn't know what to do. And the guys who managed to build the bomb, we're talking of Compton, Lawrence, Oppenheimer, they immediately were considered the brightest, the best physicists. Come on. I mean, smart people, very capable, but you don't have to be a genius to get this done, okay? So all these fundamental questions were dismissed in the following, and they started to build accelerators, and let's another accelerator, and another huge experiment, and we describe the outcome by some numbers, and this is why this is how eventually we ran into this mess of the standard model, in which a huge experiment are described by a huge number of unexplained parameters, and nobody can explain all this mess, okay? So I think we have a problem here with a superficial culture of thinking, and if you take a broader perspective, that's what bothers our civilization in many fields. We have a problem with our financial system. I think we have a problem with climate, with the extinction of species, and a problem that all these atomic weapons could explode with a stupid coincidence every day. So we're not really treating the planet very well, and I think we don't understand the laws of nature in a proper way, and we don't care about nature in a proper way. And I think we need to start thinking more thoroughly, and if I can help a little bit with this, I shall be happy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel.